Hello all, welcome back to the channel. And doesn't the world work in mysterious ways? Because they seem to be breeding. Following the video then that I put on the internet, on the YouTube a couple of weeks ago now, of my Audi A4 B5, I've got another one. It's turned up, and somebody contacted me via that video to say, John, I love your B5, it's very well looked after, and I've got mine, which belongs to my wife. She is giving up driving. We are the second owner. We've had it for 12 years. We bought it from our next door neighbours who bought it new, and if you don't buy it, then we're going to scrap it, because the scrap price is actually quite reasonable at the moment. And I thought that was a terrible shame, so I said to the gent, yes, I will buy the car. If anything, it was to save it for spare parts. However, bought sight unseen, didn't realise just how good actually it was going to be. So this video is just a quick video just to have a look around the car, have a talk about it, show you some bits and pieces that are bad, bits and pieces that are surprisingly good, and just a general documentation really of the car. It's a lovely crisp morning in the wonderful world of Lincolnshire. Good morning. It's quite busy out and about, lots of people going to work. So the car originally was supplied by Preston Audi up in Lancashire, and actually that ties in nicely, because the car ended up in Blackpool, and that's where I collected it from the other day. And as I say, it was bought new. It was owned for 10 years, and then bought by husband and wife, who used it very sparingly, to be honest with you. Sort of 2,500 miles a year. And the fact that somebody has seen my video, contacted me, reached out to me, is one of the wonderful things about the world, and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube as well. So a big shout out to that couple there for letting me salvage this. So I got a message from the chap to say, I've got this car, it's not pretty, it's going for scrap. There's a few things wrong with it. If you want to salvage the parts off it, then you can have it for a very reasonable price. And again, this is the first real time I'm having a good look at it, because I picked it up late. I took a train to Blackpool. That was an interesting journey, and drove it home. And one of the things he did tell me on the internet, because it's difficult on the internet, isn't it, is that it's got a few car park dings and dents, that the alloys are scabby, that the interior isn't pretty, that it's got a little bit of a squeak from the rear, and that there's an intermittent engine management warning light. Okay, I thought that might put me off, but it didn't. Just showing you, beautiful rainbow this morning. Look at that, gorgeous. Anyway, shining over the Audi. So I want to have a quick walk around, point out some bad bits I have seen, talk about some bits and pieces, and then talk about this engine management light as well, and potentially future plans, because actually this is not a scrap car, and I can't strip it for spares, but also I can't keep it, so it's going to be one of those that we've salvaged. So let's start at the front, let's have a look. There's a dent in the bonnet here that I've just spotted. It is what it is, hasn't damaged the paint, it's quite a nasty crease. Dent person can get that out. Brilliant. Looking at the Audi grille and badge, all fine, no damage to the rings. We've got a small bit of scuffing to this front bumper, that will come out with a polish, so will that there. You've got a small dent in this front wing. We've got some damage to this plastic surround here. I've never actually seen one of these plastic surrounds on these A4s, so potentially it's an aftermarket thing. That's not a major issue, is it? I can just either stick that back up with some Gorilla Glue, other fantastic glue is available, or just remove that, because I'm not a massive fan. We'll go around this way. This wing, nice. There's a couple of marks here, like scuffs and scratches. Again, this is as I have picked it up. They will come out. Look, they're only surface. I suppose if I was to take a rag with a bit of compound or T-cut on there now, it would come straight out. Alloy wheels were described as being scabby. I would suggest that's quite a good alloy wheel for being 22 years old. The centre cap is scabby, but it's scabby on my good B5, isn't it? Because they all go like that. So I would suggest that's fine. Wheel arches are actually very good. We've got the mud flaps. We've got these side strips. The side rumble strips on these, they come away if you know your Audis. That should just ping back on there, and we can sort that out. There's a dent here in this door. Again, there's a scuff on this wing mirror. That will come straight out, not an issue. Little bit of, I've never seen this on these, a little bit of delamination right at the bottom here, and it's actually a lot worse on the driver's side of the wing mirror, actual mirror there. I've never seen that on one of these B5s. Usual thing that goes. These, this has started to go scabby here. It's like an alloy, isn't it? And they just oxidise and the paint falls off. Not a major problem. It's easy to paint, isn't it? We've got quite a nasty ding in this back quarter here, but I'm not going to worry about it if you're not. Again, this alloy, it's okay, isn't it? In fact, I would suggest that this is the centre cap that's the best of all the cars. Of all that's on the car, it's okay. Coming around to this side then, no major damage to any lights. This is what, in my opinion, really lets the car down. This alloy boot handle has at some point been scuffed or damaged, and it's just peeling away. The paint is just peeling away. It's done the same, hasn't it? Interestingly, I would suggest maybe that's because it's lived its life near the coast, near Blackpool, potentially. Someone has backed into it here with a tow bar by the looks of things. It's damaged it, and it's knocked the bumper out. It is what it is. You know, there's nothing I can do about that plastic bumper. I could probably reach under and maybe push it out a little bit, but I'm not going to bother too much about that. It is the 1.8, I forgot to mention. It's a 1.8 petrol, and my other one is a 1.6. And I can't tell much of a difference, if I'm too honest with you. But just a difference there. And we've got the nice, lovely Preston Audi dealer sticker in the back there. And we've got rear speakers as well in the parcel shelf. It is the saloon model, so we haven't got hatchback. Coming this way then, fuel filler cap. You can see that someone has clearly cleaned in there. Not. That'll be nice and shiny by the end of the day. We've got a couple of scuffs here. They are quite deep and nasty, but again, nothing that I don't think some compound or whatever will get out of there. There's one there on that pillar as well. This one's just starting to go. And we've got these side rumble strips again. They're looking okay, but they're starting to peel. But you know, 22 years old. It's going to be like that, isn't it? This is the delamination on this mirror, which I thought I'd show you. It's a bit different, isn't it? I've never really seen this. It's like inside the mirror here, water's got in, and it's just bled. It is what it is. This alloy is probably one of the worst. It's quite scabby, and the centre cap has been ruined. Potentially, it could be a aftermarket centre cap, or just has fared worse than others. And then we've got one here as well, which is not looking too great. We've got a little tiny ding on that wing there, so there's one there, and a scuff there as well. Could be a stone chip, could be anything. But overall, down this driver's side, quite straight and narrow actually. No major issues on the driver's door or the driver's passenger door. So that's a quick walk around from the outside. Let's do the usual. Now let's go inside. So we'll start with the passenger side. So door cards again, like my other one, failing a little bit here. They all do that, don't they? This is nice, this piece of trim. Sometimes they end up getting dented. Electric mirrors all round on this model actually, which is different to my windy window ones at the rear on the 1.6. We have got the usual airbag. Different cloth seats here. They've got like a wave pattern in as opposed to the checkerboard pattern. They're still good. They need a damn good scrub, but they'll be all right. We've got the original floor mats under here, and the carpet under there is relatively good. And we've got the glove box, of course, with your 2 interior cup holders and all the paperwork and documentation. Now, this is one of the best things I love about cars, is the documentation that you get with them. We've got the Preston Audi member. This is the original owner, so I'll just get rid of that information. But it's nice to have with the car, isn't it? Issued 06. We've got all the bits and pieces, help desks and emergency information that we need there. We've got loads of tax discs. We've got all the documents of what's been done to the car, MOT history, service book is stamped complete. You've got all the warranty details and the operating instructions in the handbook as well. That's nice to have. I like having that sort of thing, and that was an absolute bonus. And if that car was to be scrapped, which it just potentially was, all that history and information just disappears, doesn't it? And I quite like all that sort of thing. We've got the same sort of things. We've got cup holder, we've got front fog lights, we've got rear fog lights, we've got the Audi concert cassette tape, stereo system, and we've got the climate control. We've got an ashtray here, and look at that ashtray. It's never been used, and that is in there because I used my sat nav to get home yesterday, so we'll put that back in there. It's dirty, isn't it? You know, it's dirty and needs a scrub. But it's not damaged. There's no major damage in here, and just looking at that ashtray is one of my favourite things. There's only one thing I've worked out in this interior that doesn't actually work, aside from the aircon. I think the aircon needs a bit of a regas. It's the cup holder. So I went to my local Golden Arches on the way home last night to get myself a drink, and couldn't get the blooming cup holder open, and I was absolutely devastated. So that's something I'm going to investigate. Sometimes the spring breaks and they just don't pop out, but it's a sort of a £80 fix if I need a new one, so I won't be probably buying one of those. Gear knob's nice. It's not had much wear. If you look this side, it's nice and shiny. This gear gaiter again is nice, no rips and tears. There's a couple of loose threads, but we can snip them off, and this handbrake lever is nice as well. Let's go round to the back passenger side. Pretty standard, isn't it? You know, we've got this this wavy pattern again in the rear here, and we've got the cargo nets on the front here. We've got this pull down armrest, and it should have. It has got something in it. I should have probably checked that first. There could have been anything in there, couldn't there? You should have a first aid kit. Again, no first aid kit in there, which is a shame. It hasn't got the original Audi first aid kit, but I probably didn't expect it to have that. It is full of tissues and bits and pieces. Never use that. Never keep stuff in there because it always clunks about. But as you can see, it's dirty. It just needs a hoover out and a bit of a VF brush and a scrub. Let's look in the boot then. Because these have got fantastically big boots. So here we go. We've got the boot, we've got the carpet liner, and under there is a alloy. I don't know if it's got the centre cap, but it's got the alloy wheel in there as well. It looks like it's been used. In fact, it has been used at some point. Interestingly, so I'll be interesting to see the state of that. Potentially, this really good alloy that's on the front here was at one point the spare wheel, who knows, but I'll get that out at some point later today, and we'll have a look at that. We've got this little cubby hole pocket, as you know, and in here we've got a 6 CD changer, which does work. I tested that on the way, and we've got the toolkit as well, and in here we need to sort that out as well. I don't know what that is. What's that? It is just a bracket that holds things in place. We need to have a look at that because there is a wire broken. I don't know what that is. If anyone knows what this is, let me know, because there's a wire been, I think, snipped actually. Maybe an alarm, who knows. And in here we've got a load of arms, front arms, rear arms, bushes. I don't know why he's bought all these, but we got loads of butt arms and bushes, which is really good actually to have all those. They've come from Germany by the looks of things. But yeah, it's always handy to have, isn't it? He said, no good to me. Warning triangle, as before, on the B5. I'm going to shut the boot now, make sure I've got the keys, yes. Shut the boot lid. Good. Don't think it's got the original plates on. I think the plates have probably been changed at some point, because I would expect them to have said Preston Audi, but maybe I'm wrong. Alarm sticker, nice. Here we have again the rear door cards, nice shiny chrome handles, and we've got these electric windows at the back, which all work. All the electrics are fine. Here's my cheap and cheerful Audi memo scanner. I plugged in to the OBD reader because I did get a engine management warning light on the car. I pulled up at the services, and it was fuel too lean. Could be loads of things, couldn't it? It could be a leak, could be plugs, could be MAF sensor, could be lots of different things. I cleared it, cleared the engine management light, and drove it all the way home with some super duper petrol, 300 miles, and the engine warning light didn't come back on. So we'll just monitor that just to see if we've sorted it, and it needed just a bit of a what's the word, Italian tune-up, isn't it? Driver's door card then, it looks worse in the video actually than it is. It needs just a bit of a clean, but it's not coming away here. We've got this door pocket, and obviously, as you can see, the car has covered quite a few miles, and that answers my next question, which is, I think it's covered 120,000. 2 keys, by the way, 2 keys, central locking, all working. We've got Justin Timberlake, so we'll turn that off. We've got on the dash here 121,311 miles. We've got the usual Audi lines in this cluster here, but everything else working nice and as it should there. But for 121,000 miles on a 22-year-old car, and the interior and exterior to look like this, I think that's very good. A little bit of wear on this driver's bolster here. It is fraying. It will soon split, I suppose. Get that to Mum. Mum will sew that up, bless her. And it just needs a good clean. I don't know what's happened there. There's like a lump there. But again, clean. The original driver's mat has gone all the way through. And now that's some serious driving, isn't it? And it's gone through to, not mark, but, I don't know, dirty. The underside of there. These mats I can probably pick up, get a new mat, new driver's mat, get that in there, cheap and cheerful, happy days. But apart from that, the interior is nice and tidy. Apart from being dirty, you know, dog hair, cat hair, fluff, bits and pieces, then there's not that much damage in the driver's side. I have just noticed there's a small tiny cigarette hole there, which I didn't notice. Because actually I don't think that the car has been smoked in. Is it cigarette? It is cigarette. It's that's a big shame actually. That's upset me now. But it's all okay. We can sort that out. And it's not going to cause me a major issue. But overall, the interior here then looking nice and tidy, and the leather steering wheel is very good as well. Right, we will open the bonnet and have a look in there, and then we'll wrap the video up. Got all the doors open now, and these are quite interesting how you open the bonnets. If you've ever opened the bonnet on one of these old Audi A4s, you're not scrambling around under here, you're not doing this, that and the other. Out of the ring pops this lovely little tab, and so I can do this whilst I've still got you. We open the lid. It's on a gas hydraulic strut. Now, the chap did say that the hydraulic strut is a little bit temperamental, so I'll try not to get my head under there. And there it is, the 1.8 5-valve Audi engine. The usual things. We've got brake fluid reservoir, we've got the coolant reservoir, and I can actually feel the heat coming off this because I've just driven Mrs. John Coupland to work in it. Alternator, oil, hydraulic fluid for the power steering. We've got a washer bottle here. Interestingly, I don't think I've got this cover on my other car. I'll have to double check the video. Can't remember. Timing belt's been done at 70,000 miles, allegedly, according to the paperwork. We'll have to just double check that. But here's our lovely VIN number and all our Audi information as well. And under the bonnet, quite nice and tidy, no rot or rust along this edge. They do get stone chips there. Very nice. Right, I'll shut the bonnet and I will end the video there. So here it is, my Audi A4 B5 that I've rescued really from the scrapyard. It's not a scrap car, is it? I don't know why somebody thought that they were going to scrap it, but the good news is it's ended up with me. If anyone fancies it, it will be going for sale soon, to be honest with you, because I just cannot keep it. It will be a reasonable price. Drop me a comment if you fancy it. I will advertise it on the Twitter and everywhere when needs be. But yeah, it's not one I can keep, sadly. It is one that I've rescued. I'll be open and honest about that at this point now. Because sometimes people get a bit angry with me when they see, oh, you've just bought it and you've just saved it, and why are you selling it now? Is it no good? No, it's fine. And I'll try to be open and honest as possible on these video reviews as well, just to show people what the car is, talk them through it, all the dents, all the bits and pieces. But yeah, very nice car. That's it then for me. If you have enjoyed the video, please check out some other ones. There's lots of interesting cars on the channel. Please like and subscribe. It does help the channel. I'm at that time where I'm trying to get myself up to the 1,000 subscribers to hopefully get a little bit of cash in my pocket to pay for this ridiculous hobby. So if you could subscribe, that would be brill, and it will really help the channel. Whatever you're doing, have a great day. And if you want to follow me on the socials, it's at John Coupland, all one word, John, Jon, Coupland, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and that's about it. I'm not on them TikToks because I can't dance. Have a great day, whatever you're getting up to, and thanks for watching the video. Goodbye.